There's two things I hate in this world, and there are many more than two, but these are the two that matter for this video. Firstly, horror. The idea of being scared for enjoyment never really sparked anything inside of me, nothing fun at least, and I always thought it was just another way to make it hard to sleep at night, or add more depictions of what the monster under your bed could look like. And the second thing I've grown to hate is anxiety. This can be any form, social, performance, or even emotional and health anxieties. I've struggled with it my whole life, even going to the doctor multiple times with them saying it's okay, it's just anxiety. So what do we do with this anxiety we have in our hearts? We either go out and conquer it, or we cope. But coping is only temporary. Eventually you will have to face the problem eventually, before your coping deters you from the world completely, just like our dear friend Sunny here. Before I played Omori, I was hesitant because I heard it was a horror game, but videos suggested it was more psychological than scary, and there was deeper meanings and messages throughout the game. And instantly, every hair on my body stood up and was like, you gotta buy and complete this game, so that's what I did. Just from the start menu, you can tell something's off. This character known to us as Omori is expressionless, black and white and gray. And when you're playing through the game, he's the only black and white figure in this colorful world known as Headspace. Later we find out that Omori is an imagined character derived from Sunny, the main character of Omori. Sunny dreams of this perfect version of himself in Omori, making Omori the manifestation of Sunny's hopes and dreams. A reality where everything's still fine, and everything goes his way. And I'm sure we can all relate to this, especially if you're an introvert and struggle with anxiety. We all have a version of ourselves that we're working towards beyond what we are now. This could be a dream body, or maybe being able to make more money, or just a you that abstains from anything morally bad like cursing or drinking. And there's nothing wrong with making an ideal version of yourself, except you have to ask yourself one question. What are you doing every day to get closer to this ideal version of yourself? And is it realistic or obtainable? Sunny, alone and depressed, never leaves his house and sits in the dark sleeping all day, casting all his feelings inside a fake bubble known as Headspace. It takes his friend Kale knocking on his door and making him come outside to start breaking away from the protective bubble being his room, and only then does he start facing his fears once again. Me as the player decided to do this as I wanted to see Sunny's character progress and not Omori's. But if you don't answer the knocks at the door, then Omori's story progresses, making Sunny's imagined character go on many more adventures, but in turn, sending Sunny's mental health further from reality. Every day we have trauma, and things we take on every day as a part of life. And this added with anxiety or a mental disorder can cause people to close off completely. I myself love being alone, especially on the early days of high school a few years back, and never wanted anybody to bother me. This made me, like Sunny, create a version of myself in my head that was more social, more athletic, more good looking. In my head I was this person, and when I would get out of my head and look in the mirror, I almost didn't recognize myself. I was running from my own stress and anxiety, and what was causing them. And only once I faced it, could I let go of that false image and become the image that I truly am. And Sunny had to do the same. And now I'm finna go into major spoilers for Omori, so if you stayed this long, thank you. Drop a like before you go. Sunny's sister Mari had died, and he killed her after an argument they had, after Sunny had pushed her down the stairs on impulse. Feeling the guilt from this, he hopes that she'll wake up and just puts her in the bed. It's around the same time his friend Basil comes in and sees what happened, and comes up with the plan to hang his sister Mari from a tree, to make it look like an attempt on her own life. And I'll note here that this makes Sunny's creation of Omori later even more detrimental, because Omori still has access to Mari, meaning Omori was never an obtainable version of himself, as I mentioned before. And after doing this deplorable act, both Sunny and Basil carried a burden they held in, as they couldn't tell the rest of their friend group what had happened, creating these monsters called the Something, and both Sunny and Basil are affected by it. This monster is the trauma and guilt manifested in this uncanny form. As I played the game more and more, it no longer scared me, and I no longer thought to jump up at the creepy bits, because as someone that's been in the place that Sunny was, despite the murder of course, I began to look at the creepy parts of the game as not scary and strange, but identifying it to my own emotions and thoughts. Your brain can make up realities endless and colorful, ones that look way more fun than the reality of real life. Whereas in real life, fun and entertainment is more simple and not as clear cut. It takes Sunny realizing how beautiful life is again, and most importantly, seeing that even though he's holding a burden, life is still welcoming, and it moves on whether you're in it or not. That he finally decides to open up and free himself from the crisis, shutting down the fake world he created by defeating Omori, and putting his sister at rest in his brain for a final time. Omori is a beautiful game, and one that everyone who's ever closed themselves off can relate to. I would recommend that you play this game in a good state of mind, however, because it does tackle harsh themes and scary realities, but like most media, that's what makes it so powerful. I myself was scared for how much I related to it at times, and it made me want to get out and socialize more, or just improve my mental state as a person, even if I felt okay. This game should be a sign not to run from your fears and thoughts, but to try and sort them out, address what they are and how to tackle them. And you don't have to do everything alone. Hell, even Omori shows you that, with his friends being able to help him take out the darkness inside his heart. Let someone be your light if you have to. There's nothing wrong with help. And with that being said, I hope you like this video. And I'll be back with more. Love y'all. Peace.
Back in white space. There he is. Omori. He looked at me this time. You gonna actually respond to me if I walk up to you? Oh shit. Oh my god. Yo, this is sick.